Hello and welcome to Thursday. Now, um, I think I talked about this either yesterday or a couple days ago, but I had an idea. First off, I'm not so sure if you've noticed or if we talked about it, but I collect vinyl records if that isn't apparent. And I actually got one in the mail today, and that would be Dayglow's self-titled. The company who's in charge actually sent me two copies. Like I ordered the CD and the vinyl, so now I have two copies of both for some reason. So that's fun. I'll figure out what to do with that. That's happened before, where I order some music, and the company will send me just like you know a different color than I ordered. So I have like three copies of All American Rejects Send Her to Heaven, even though that they were only sold in orange and red. So now I think it's like two orange and one red or something like that. That happens on occasion. I think, what is it? Motion City Soundtrack My Dinosaur Life. I have three copies of that, and there's like two color variants among those. It happens, but that just means I get more records, which is not necessarily a bad thing. It's just I need space. Anyway, um, that happened today. And one of the things that I've been thinking about is essentially creating a music spreadsheet, well, a vinyl collection spreadsheet. And just cataloging every record that I have. I kind of did with the video games that I had, and I never really got that far with it. I remember talking about that once a while back, but I never got too far with it. But I really, really want to start doing that now. Um, I came across a website of a guy who has something similar to what I want to do, and I thought it was really cool. So initially, I'm just thinking, I can build that. So I start out looking at the code and realize it's the most poorly built website I've ever seen in my life. Uh, but it's like, this is the way to do things in HTML, and I'm furious without JavaScript, and I was confused, and it was something else. But I figured, hey, let's give it a shot, see where we get to, and see how horrible and messy we can make this code. So, with all that out of the way, I got started on a spreadsheet. This is about, looking at it, I have maybe 200 something records. Um, yeah, these are unique records that are just sitting on my shelf. So there's about 200 right here. That does not include duplicates. So I have four copies of HR's new. Like I have a bunch of copies of HR's music right here at the beginning. Again, two copies of Apocalypse Whenever by Bad Sun. Same with Disappear Here. I mentioned what was it? Oh yeah, two copies of Arizona's self-titled. Arctic Monkeys is a car. All American Rejects, Coins, Dreamland. Two copies of Dayglow right here. There's a bunch of duplicates. This list does not include duplicates yet. I'll probably list them under either duplicates or a color variation side, because that would be really cool, because I don't think it's necessary to separate, hey, I have 8 copies of this one record from this one artist that's going to take up 8 different chunks. No. It's the same album. It's just a different variant. So I'll do that. So I got through most of the records. I have 5 of these little cases that I went through. There's a 6th one that is mostly video game soundtracks, and then I have the shelf over there. Actually, I can just turn the camera right. Actually, let's not. It might be a bit difficult to get that going because I need to tilt the camera down. It's fine. Alright, so over there on the other side of the room, I have like a little shelf, and then on top of that shelf is more video game soundtracks, which I have not cataloged. Looking at it, it's a lot of Supergiant stuff, it's a lot of box sets, things that don't necessarily fit in this form factor. This barely perfectly kind of fits a record, so if anything larger won't work. And I grouped the OSTs there. There's not too many, And then also, I haven't done the 10-inch records that I have, which are, like maybe 3 or 4, something like that. I have Submarine technically by Alex Turner, but it's songs from the movie Submarine, which features songs by Alex Turner of Arctic Monkeys. So you get Pile Driver Waltz is a big one. That's the only one that's coming to mind at the moment. Uh, that's what I call Music Volume 420, which is a split record featuring Mom Jeans, Pictures of Vernon, and Prince Daddy and the Hyena. But I do not know how to catalog that because it's a split record because multiple artists are collaborating on it. So we'll see how that figures out. There's multiple cases like that. I came across one that was Equip and R23X, where their music is again split. Well, it's a collaboration album, so I don't know how to catalog that. Then we have 7-inches, which are maybe about 10 or so 7-inch records, and then I have CDs, which are probably another 100, more than 100 that I need to catalog, which I haven't gotten to yet. They'll be part of the same spreadsheet. I'll have a tab for vinyl records, I'll have a tab for CDs. I don't think I'll have one for digital purchases because that seems kind of weird, but I do want to have all of these. And then, me, I like writing reviews. Not necessarily too in-depth reviews. I will make a website that is kind of more of just like, hey, this is a couple paragraphs. If you've seen my NeoCities, and gone to some of the reviews that I have there. Speaking of, I have not updated my NeoCities since I created it, so I need to get on that. But time, so much happens in so little time, so I'll get to that eventually. Everything needs to be updated there, and I probably will, maybe. But all of that, we're set, and we got the spreadsheet going. The whole goal is to just make a website for this where, I'll list out like, hey, these are the most records by an artist I have. It's going to be Fall Out Boy. These are the most variants that I have. It's going to be Fall Out Boy. This is going to be my top genres, my top, what top year this is from. And you click on one of those little links that is like, hey, I own records by this band. You click on it, let's say, again, top one is Fall Out Boy, click on that. It's like, I own all these records. And then you click on one of the names of the records, or I'm thinking of doing like generating the image album art, where you would have the full art of the record, and then one that's like maybe like 200 by 200, maybe 1,000 by 1,000 or something. You click on that, and then you're led to a little review. That kind of goes... Actually, no, it doesn't. It doesn't go against my philosophy. I have a website philosophy that you should be able to access everything within 2 clicks. From the homepage, you should be able to get to where you need within 2 clicks. So, on the front, you'll see all of this information. You click on one link, and that shows you everything by either whatever genre you're looking for or whatever thing. This might be a 3-link site, but just because there's going to be so much information relayed. Again, I have 200 albums cataloged. There's probably another 300. Well, yeah, there's probably another 100. Probably another 200 if we count. Oh boy. Let's say each shelf holds about 50, because that seems like a decent number, because that's how we got to 200. Is it? No. How do we get... How many... Yes. Yes? No. 4 shelves went to 172. So let's call them... 40? 40 seems like a solid number. Yeah, let's call it 40. So that means we have another 30 plus another 30, so that's another 60 albums. And then we got let's call them 20. No, not even 20. Let's call it 10. So it's another 70 with the 7-inches, the 10-inches, and the video game soundtracks. And then let's say 70, and let's call it 100 CDs. So it's another 170 for a total of, let's say, 340. Let's call it 350. 350 solid. Yeah, that might be breaking my 3-click philosophy, because if you want to navigate, especially, yeah, it's gonna break my 3-click philosophy. So this might be a 4-click. Maybe. No, what I'm gonna do is have one page with all of the listings, right? So you have total CDs and vinyl combined, but then you click the subheading for vinyl. So yeah, subheading for vinyl, and then that goes through everything. And then there's gonna be subheading for just streaming in general. No, and yeah, streaming's gonna be its own separate category. Ooh, I'm getting so many ideas. So many ideas. I'm gonna have to look back on this video to see what's going. I'm also looking off here. Let's look here. So many different categories that I'm gonna be thinking of. Yeah, it's gonna be really cool, and I want to do this with video games. I want to keep track of albums that I've listened to, think what my thoughts and opinions are on these albums, but I also want to do it for video games. And the video games list is gonna be very different. It's gonna be very long, and the way I have it on NeoCities is great, but it's not doesn't lend itself well to what I want to do. So I think we'll have to figure something out here. Music seems like a great place to start, just because the images is going to be a pain, and the fact that I can just kind of take whatever image I want and just scale it down to 200 by 200, because albums are traditionally square, and video games, while I grab them from the video game database and they have a consistent file sizing, it's gonna be weird. I'll try to make it work, and we'll see how that goes. But it's gonna be a whole thing. And yeah, I have not played every video game. I have not listened to every album. Like going through here, I have not listened. I think I've listened to most albums here. Pretty much all of these on this shelf, except Blackpink, the album, and what is this? Beach Bunny's Emotional Creature. I don't think I've listened to those two, but I've listened to most of these. If we go through, I'll have listened to most, but again, I want to have a place where I can summarize and write down my thoughts everywhere, and not have to do a full comprehensive, like, track by track, in-depth review kind of thing. We'll figure it out. But yeah, that's the whole idea, and I'm very excited about this. And the spreadsheet is the first where this is gonna go. Like, we have pretty much every album that I had. Also, I gotta figure out how I'm gonna handle re-releases, because I have 3 different versions of HIRS to Click. I have the original, then I have the original deluxe edition, and then I have the limited edition repressing of the deluxe edition. So we gotta figure out how to do that. There's a couple of those in here. I don't think those. Yeah, there's an album by a band called Houses, which is just like one guy who hasn't made anything since, but he has a track called Drugstore Heaven, and then he made this into an EP, and then it became an album. So they have the same title, but they're vinyl releases for both. So I don't know how to categorize that. I might do like brackets EP brackets album. In fact, I'm gonna do that right now. It's under Houses, so we'll add brackets to EP, open bracket, EP, close bracket, and then we do this one, open bracket, album. Okay, now the question is, which order do I do this in? I'll figure it out. I can just swap album and EP. Maybe EP first, but it's like alphabetical. But there's more. I'll figure it out. Yeah. Max has an album called Color Vision, and then there's Color Vision Deluxe. Yeah, there's different variants among re-releases. So I'll need to go through it. I think that might be the biggest. Yeah, that might be the biggest issue. I only have a couple of those, so it's not too big of a problem. But I'll need to look into that. Yeah. I think we're good. Okay. Yeah, that's the plan. I will slowly chip away at this and work on this over the next couple of days, couple of weeks, and see how far we get, because it's a very fun project. But uh, you know, do I want a cassette section? I have 3 cassettes. 4? I see 3, but there's something. Yes, I have 4 cassettes. 2 of them are the same, so I have 3 cassettes. But I probably won't do cassette thing. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. And then there's also the question of like, do I want to rip these open and start breaking the seals? Because I don't. Usually I'll just like leave the album sealed for collector's value, but again, I was also the person who, on occasion, back in like 2020, 2021, I would take a bottle of liquor, pop the top, take a sip, and like, voided the warranty. And now it's just, hey, buy a nice looking bottle of something, and most of mine are open at the moment actually. But if I buy a bottle, and just because it looks cool, I haven't tried it. Um, I'll try to take a sip and make a drink with it, but sometimes that doesn't happen. But yeah, that's the plan for now. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, I'm very excited about this, and I don't want to burn out working on this every day, so I'm not gonna just plow through. I'm gonna work on it very slowly and just try and get everything handled. So we'll see how it goes. But for now, that's what I'm gonna call it for today. It's a bit of a long one, but hey, excited about it. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you tomorrow, and until then, later.